So basically the way that it works is that after the top 4 was decided, Hit and Run was the regular season winner. That's why they're in the upper bracket final, already waiting to see who is going to advance between Cashback and W, which were position 2 and 3. And that position 4 is Mafia, which wants to repeat what W did last season, which is make a lower bracket run all the way through the pits of hell into the grand final. Community predictions, 59% in favor of Cashback, 41% for W. They are still very, very close to each other. I think that either team could beat the other. However, the good thing here for W, Domov, if they lose this, they end up back in the position they were last season. Lineups though for the first battle of the day, W versus Cashback, W IS7, 1-1B, BAT, E50M, K91, double Bliskovice.
Meanwhile, Cashback are going with 4 BZ75s, double was 1 K91, a 430U, and a Foch B.
Interesting, Mov. No light tanks on either side. Could be a big brawl, but we talk about it often. Those BZs, Mov, not the greatest tank for a prolonged fight.
No, it's not. You really want to go for the kill instantly, and if you don't get that overmatch at the start, then it can be very difficult to claw your way back into the game. It is very curious, though, that neither team wants to take a light tank. Both of them going to be looking for some sort of brawl.
We can see already Cashback heading towards the middle of the map. Little going to be on the info point, so he will get a lot of information. Twilight and Brainbreaker are going to be challenging this strike area. All 7 tanks from W now spotted out. So Cashback know what's up. Twilight starting it off with a shot against Baby. Brainbreaker with a shot against Frugo. Baby taking another one from another BZ. And this is Cashback revealing their hand.
Yeah, they are, and Baby, he may have a lot of DPM, but he's not got a lot of health to go around, and he's going to get clapped by the BZ Brainbreaker. Not going to be enough to take Baby down just yet. Barely alive on 365 HP. Now the Bliskovice of Klurf and Itox are pushing around the corner, and that Church is going to provide decent cover for Twilight, but he's got to try and tuck in as best he can while his team is moving through the rest of the map. The BZs, they're looking to push through the north off screen at the moment, but the DPM is not quite there.
Not quite, as Frugo is the first one to fall against Liberty, and now you can see the swarm of Cashback players coming off the cap, re-pushing back into the middle. Baby finally falling, joining Frugo in death. Klurf is next, and now the ball of death, that is Cashback. That is going to be a big strike. It's going to hit on a few targets at least, but Itox is going to get hit by a few targets as well. As he falls, it's just 3 standing for W, and these BZs and this initial play from Cashback, enough to bring them victory in round number 1.
Yeah, who cares about DPM when you've got the big boom clap alpha? Alpha is king in the modern day of water tanks, and Cashback are showing us that with a dominant round win to start off the day. Good signs for them. They're woken up and ready to go. W gonna have to think on this one.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sending 1-1 for the strike, but it was a good counterplay from Cashback there. Immediately 2-tapping even that 1-1B. There are 3 initial shots by those BZs, right? 1 on Frugo, 2 on Baby. It is just a really nice start to have. And then all of those tanks in the 5-6 lane was a good repush from Cashback. Prime position.
Yeah, and poor Yoz doesn't really get a chance to be involved in the match here. He's still full HP. He does manage to pick up a couple of kills here at the end for what it's worth, but it's all in vain, as Cashback will be securing the first round.
And this for Cashback is ideal coming in here. W also trying to play without light tank, but this Cashback lineup is indeed just a bit better for that initial brawl when the BZs still have boosters, they still have HP. In a short fight, you don't need DPM.
In these clutch situations, but he doesn't get a chance to work his way into the battle when he's already a one-shot from the very beginning. You can see him there on the leaderboard at the bottom there, doing only 1.5, which is certainly not ideal.
Yeah, it's not enough for that Inspire tank either. You want it to be in the fight, and yeah, those BZs, for this kind of fight, they're perfectly fine. They indeed just start struggling. If their teammates start dying, they have to start chasing, they start running out of boosters, then it becomes annoying. But for this, Cashback found this mid repush, found the targets, and this W lineup cannot really hold such a heavy repush.
No, and I would argue as well that the one tank that they did have in Crossfire, the Batchat, is not really the ideal tank in that position. You'd much rather have, then maybe we can catch them off guard, and they have this clash in the middle of the map. So do W want to go that way? And if they do, Are Cashback prepared for it?
That is a very, very good question. Can W just bring it back? Though, gotta remember, this is a best of 9. It is not a sprint, it is a marathon. It will not be over in 1 to 3. Even if W would lose this 2-0, there's still possibilities.
The synergy of taking all of the same tank type? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, surely that's got to be a bit of trolling.
They're not trolling.
Surely that has got to be a bit of trolling. But do my eyes deceive me? We see triple Grille on the field right now with double RHM, K91, and a Foch B.
Yeah, they're not trolling. They are picking this Cashback lineup off is a bit interesting as well. Triple K91, a Foch B, an RHM, an AX, and an IS7. Both of the chefs are preparing a dish. Which one of the two will get a star and which one will get broken down by the critics? I'm not sure about this triple Grille personally, but if it works...
If it works... If it's stupid but it works, is it really stupid? Well, it probably is still stupid, but it also still works.
Liberty
triple
didn't
Grille
use
at the
plane,
start. They're going onto that ridge line. They're going to aim on towards the radar at the start of the game. They're going to try and blow someone up who wants to go for that position. They pop their abilities. Are they going to get the shots in? Some connections come in and he gets blown up. Squeezy is out of the round and the cooking most assuredly has begun.
Yeah, the triple Grille finds success. They find a AX overpeaking to reset the radio, which was his entire purpose. And now Klurf taking some damage, so needs to be careful. The Grille of Jakefa not connecting on Barbarian. Itox in return taking a lot of damage, but he did pop his ability. However, that was a level 1 ability.
Yeah, so not going to be too much heal. I can't remember what level 1 is, probably like 30%?
30 or 35.
If I remember correctly, so not too much heal coming back there. Frugo now spotted rotating the triple Grille, the battalion. They're going all the way over towards the forest side of the map. The radar is now being taken by Little. That's not ideal if you are W right now, and Cashback, they may have been shell-shocked by what has just happened, but there are still possibilities to get back in here when the enemy has triple Grille.
Yeah, sure, but I feel like the Grilles might go into assault mode now by the look of things. I mean, IOS will spot out Barbarian in a second. It does find him little out in the open as well. IOS finds a shot, needs to be careful.
Midland.
Yeah, he goes over. He didn't realize, I think, that Barbarian was there. He'll take another K91 shot. They're trying to hit this K91, but they're not succeeding. Now, IOS dropping below half, and also, importantly, Grilles popping abilities.
Yeah, I think W just need to pump the brakes right now. It's all go, 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 and Frugo is going to go back to the garage by the looks of things, and that advantage, that early kill that they got on Squeezy, it's going to be null and void. Frugo is down and out of the round. I mean, I suppose the one good thing from his point of view is he gets to focus on pinging the map.
Yeah, but they're 5,000 HP down now, though.
Yeah. It's certainly not looking good after the early success here. Barbarian now is going to start pressuring. He's going to move up in that IS-7, and Itox, he could let the clip go, but he's probably going to get blasted for it if he does, so he gets spotted out by the plane as he tries to back up. Now Jakefa's going into the K-line here to try and provide some covering fire support, but W just all out of sorts right now. If Cashback push in, they could probably find the kills.
Barbarian needs to be careful still about making a play too much. Rios is going to take the radio, will reveal Barbarian's position, except for the strike comes out and stops him from doing that as well. He will be taking it now, but the HP loss is significant on the W side altogether. And now the rest of the team pushing in, and there is not... I mean, Baby is going to go into cover as well. Can Jakefa hit, starting it off by 1,000? He can. Liberty does not have a plane just yet either.
No, but look at the damage that Itox has already taken. He's only on 900 HP, just a couple of shots and he'll be down and out. He probably won't even live through the heal cycle here. Barbarian taking significant damage as Jakefa lets off another shot in that Grille 15. Cashback, they need to push in and find him right now. If he gets off one more shot, maybe it's value. Probably not, though. No,
he gets spotted out now and he will get deleted in a minute. Well, I'll make that a second, actually, as now 4 tanks left standing for W. It all started off so well, but then this force play, Ios making a mistake, losing half his HP, and then, well, Frugo and the Grille making an even bigger mistake.
Liberty taking a little bit of damage, but it's not significant enough to really turn the tide in this battle right now. Cashback are in full control. They've got the guns advantage by 2. They've got the HP advantage by about 3k right now. and they're in total control of this situation. More spots coming on towards these tanks, all just poking up on the ridgeline. Mentos trading out a shot of damage with the respective K91 of Little on the other side. And W, they're kind of just stalling for time right now. Cashback aren't really obligated to go in for the fight. They're just going to start collecting the strikes, and they're going to slow play to secure the round.
I mean, I must say that Cashback taking the info after all was huge for them, a little, you know, revealing everything. But then this Forest Barbarian on his 1 HP on the strike.
It seems kind of crazy that that Little even went for the radar after they found out that they were triple Grille.
It was perfect timing.
It was perfect timing. But how did Little know he's got that sixth sense?
I mean, if the triple Grille is aiming, it's minus another K91.
I know. That's what makes it the fine details that separate these two teams. Brainbreaker now closing off any escape route here. Pushing back in towards A3. The net is beginning to close on the W tanks, and they know it.
Yeah, they're trying to cap it out, but I think that's more of a last-ditch effort attempt here. Little finds a shot against Klurf already. Mentos holding the line. Ios coming in. Will drive out of the strike and dodge it. Baby will hit a shot as well with the Grille, but Ios down towards the one shot, and Cashback in full control, coming back in with the K9D1s, finding one, finding a second, and number 3 and 4 will not be too long either. Murvanka done. The cooking has been judged, and it seems like the dish from Cashback was able to convince the critics more than the one from W.
Very strong start for Cashback, and that really sets the tone for this match, right? The impression that I got going into this one is for hyped of, oh, we're a tank up, we can push aggressive in the forest with the Grille 15s, but it is still a Grille 15, and that tank is paper, and if it gets spotted, it goes bye-bye.
I mean, Screezy there was probably not too happy about the triple Grille. He's happy that his team won, but, you know, at the same time.
From his point of view, it's probably quite a relaxing experience. You just get blown up at the start of the round. It's not really your fault because...
What are we expecting Pilsen-wise? Lineups looking a little bit more normal here. W, I7 mouse, double flush B, 268, and double E4.
Cashback 150B, double mouse, 430U, double flush B, and an RHM. W, once again, going without any light tanks. Cashback bringing Liberty in the RHM, which you would almost say is an oddity on this map at this point. We've seen so many teams being sticking to the EBR, particularly on Pilsen. So a move back to playing the RHM is a curious one.
Again, W without the light, Liberty with spots 5, so really good info there for Cashback, right? Missing only 2, so good start, and they see as well the split of tanks from W's I7 and 268 on the field. Not a bad combination to hold whatsoever.
No, and does Liberty choose to go for the radar early? No, he doesn't. He chooses to go for the spotting run at the start. But at the moment, Cashback, they'll be communicating with each other. They know that no one got spotted initially at the start of the game, so they might have an idea that there is no light tank from the side of W. You cannot be certain of that, of course, as we've got the mouse of Itox moving in towards that mid-strike, field strike already being collected from Cashback. Barbarian and Liberty pushed up towards there, and Fugo, I think he's trying to sell a bait right now, pushing forwards in that IS-7, just puffing his chest out, trying to pretend that there's more here supporting than there actually is.
Camp being started by Ios now, mental screening up front, the strike being taken themselves as well. Itox has a strike, they'll have a secondary strike on the Fush B. But for Cashback so far, no worries, to be honest. I mean, they have a strike on the east. They know they'll have to reset at some point, and Frugo backing away, bleeding for it as well, down towards 1.6. Now Barbarian is just kind of going for this, to be honest.
Yeah, he's got a great read on the situation right now. He's not falling for Frugo's games. He's realized that he's completely alone. An isolated Baby now peeks in his 268 to try and cover his teammate, but I think he's getting absolutely blasted for that. In the meantime, as well, the triple cap has been started. Block from Itox is going to prevent IZ just about. No, it's not. IZ will manage to get into that cap, and that's going to foil all of the plans from W here. Can they trade it out? Klurf is doing significant damage to the back of IZ in that mouse, who is unable to angle his rear armor effectively.
Itox blocking again, though, now.
Down.
Now he's blocking Aka. Can he actually block? 3 seconds left. There's no more strike available. I don't know. Can Little get on the cap? No, I don't think so. I think it's over already. No, it's blocked. It's actually blocked. Little's down towards the one shot, though. If Itox or anybody kills it, there is the kill, but the cap has gotten decapped again all the way down, and now W has to fight for their lives. The last second decap from Little will be enough, and now W trying to push out, trying to do something, but they lost a lot for this cap attempt.
They did lose a lot for this all-in play, and Aka is going to fall in the mouse. We're into the 4v4. The HP is somewhat even, but remember, the light tank is always king of the end game, and Liberty is crucially alive on full HP. He needs to get out of the situation, and he does manage to do so without taking any damage from Yoz, who was looking for a cheeky shot into that RHM, and you cannot help but feel that this game is only going one way as both of the Fosh Bs perform a pincer maneuver on towards Jakatha and Itox. Itox falls. He did not have the HP to tank the clip, but now Jakatha stuck between a rock and a hard place, make that 2 Fosh Bs. Brainbreaker just able to clip completely for free, and now the repush comes back in from W. They do find the kill on towards Squeezy. That's still a lot of HP on Brainbreaker.
Yeah, and he's going to be running away as well. Mental spots the ability. Brainbreaker running. IOS chasing in that Forge B. Barbarian is a one-shot as well, holding the angle, but Liberty is the biggest problem there. 2.4 HP. IOS looking for the kill against Brainbreaker, but against Barbarian, but Brainbreaker realizes this, turns back around, ability activated, chasing down on towards this E4, clipping out as well. Barbarian might just about die. No, the track comes out. They will not find it, and Cashback. 3 consecutive rounds for them, but this one, Moff, was a close one.
Definitely got close at one moment.
If Itox blocks earlier, I think they win, no? If he drives a bit quicker and blocks Iset.
Compared to both of the previous rounds, that was really a soul-crushing way to lose a round, especially now knowing that you're 3-0 down. It's a rough place to be.
It was super close. It was indeed within 1 second from being a loss for Cashback, but instead it's a win. Brainbreaker popping off, 6.7k. Barbarian as well, 4k. Great read by him on the field to just push Frugo. Little, actually the MVP of this battle, together with Iset.
Yep, he just he put his body on the line, put his tank on the line, drove in towards their cap, and saved his team.
Not a good scenario. It's like you had a confidence booster against Hit and Run, but this would crush the confidence a little bit.
Certainly, and I think there's something to be said for when your tournament survival is on the line. There's just a bit more, you just put a bit more on edge, put a bit more on at stake, a bit more alert and ready to play the game. But W, if they do want to continue playing the game, they're going to have to probably win this round, otherwise it may all be over. W bringing an E100, IS7, triple T57 heavy, a 268 and an E4.
Cashback in return, I7 705A K91 for DABELYOO, Forge B ×2 and an RHM. The K91 of course more of denying any potential cap plays.
Yes, that is assuming he actually gets the mini strike ability ticked over at the start of the game. Brainbreaker already moving back towards the sort of K2 position, which we've seen multiple times before. Liberty this time going for the radar blind and gets the info for free, so that is massive. That's a huge start for Cashback. They've got full info available. W are flying blind.
Again, field pressure, and it's the same setup for W. 268 and IS7 covering the field. Liberty going straight for that strike. The cap has been started, but we talked about the K91 denying this move at every single point.
Yeah, but he does have to get resets in order to get that mini strike. And right now, I think they're kind of holding the angle. The strike comes in on towards that field, and Liberty, well, they will not be able to collect it in time. There's 10 seconds left on the cap, and no one from the side of Cashback is even close to getting a reset here. Twilight is closing in. There's 3 seconds left here. Someone's going to have to overpeak. 1 second left, and W have done it. What happened, what failed in the previous round, it comes through this time, and W, they steal one.
Akash should have the reset there, no? Look where the 705 is. He did get an HE shot at the end, but he should get the reset.
That's what I was thinking as well. I saw where he positioned.
He should always be able to reset with HE on the E100 up front. Always.
Yeah. And I think a key thing to mention there
is the 430U.
But not just that, but the position of W on the cap. They're sitting in the central part. Normally you would sit more towards the left-hand side of it, but the reason they're not doing that is because they know the K91.
But the 430U MOF, right? The 430U that Cashback has, Twilight. I mean, better started off strong, no? How much cooking is there on Cliff? A little bit, nonetheless. W triple 50B double bat, an E50M, and a 13105.
Yeah, they never shy away from doing something unorthodox. Cashback, just brick wall, double 50B, double 50B, not triple 50B. Then we've got quad BZ and a 268. That is a lot of HP to chew through if you are W. And again, they're putting themselves in this situation where if it doesn't work, the initial idea, they're going to be in some serious trouble.
Especially because it's such a very heavy lineup from the side of Cashback with these BZs. They are spotted out though, 5 tanks going 1 to line. W knows, and W has 7 MOF.
They are going there with 7. It's only 1 BZ out of the fight though, and there's still so much HP for the side of Cashback, so it's a pretty even fight. The BZs are going in here. W, they need to make sure they connect these shots, but the first couple of shots missing. They're actually choosing to focus out the 50Bs in the back instead, but Little will survive on just 65 points of health, which could be very important. Both 50Bs surviving on just a sliver of HP, and now the repush comes in from W. Itok's going to get focused out as the lowest HP. Aka is potentially going to overpeak to try and pick up that kill, and Barbarian in crossfire. Great focus fire from the pair of them. Klurf is going to go in on a solo quest here to try and find the kills on both of the 50Bs, but the 50Bs have got ability and they can blow you up very quickly, but he does manage to find those kills. 2 very important kills there from Klurf. W still moving up here, but the HP is significant on the side of Cashback, and Frugal gets rammed from behind by Liberty.
It's so hard to watch W trying to come back in and repush after the great damage on the 50B Smurf, but the biggest issue is they didn't kill either of them. They left them on a one-shot, and then the repush was disjointed. Itox goes in, dies before the rest even shows up. And an important factor there, Moff, is I think W did not know about one thing. Not that it changes anything, but he was never spotted in the beginning. And he's a great tank to have at D1, to be honest. With that DPM on that tank, it's an absolutely formidable tank. And then repushing back into the BZs, yeah, the initial damage was there, but they didn't kill any of the 50Bs, so Klurf was forced to go kill them, and they lost Itox basically for free as well, driving back in. So how much did you really get from that initial play, if we think about it that way?
Klurf still has to be committed to go and get those kills, and he bled all of his HP just to go and find them. So how much advantage did you really gain? Both of the 50Bs still got a clip off at the start of the round as well, which, you know, so how much advantage did you really get there?
Yeah, like what did you really gain out of making the 50Bs one shot?
Cashback going with double BZ, IS7, CS63, double 430U, and Liberty in the RHM. So that they're again not shying away from taking those heavier tanks, which teams have kind of gone away from taking heavier armor and sacrificing on the DPM. The new established meta was going more towards E50Ms, but Cashback, they're going in another direction.
7 tanks up from W, 7 tanks up from Cashback. The plane connects on 5. So they don't know that there's 7.
They don't, and that could play a big role here, not knowing that your opponent does in fact have all tanks committed towards the top side of this map. We've got Triple CS looking like they're going to go straight up the hill here. Either that or they're going to play for the top ramp. Cashback are not going to have anything to do with this. They want to go for the donut, and that is what they're going to do. Yoz and Cluff already going up the hill here. They're not going to take too much damage for this play as well. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is playing in between the rocks on the cap circle right now, but those triple BZ, the double BZ rather, have a pretty strong position to hold from.
This is not that bad for W, no?
Yeah, I've got the cap underway, but there is a strike being taken in Donut right now, so the cap immediately not going to be a significant threat. I think the biggest threat right now is the hill. The strike does come in on towards the cap, only hits 2, though Barbarian now overpeaking to try and get some shots in, but maybe he's overcommitted in towards Jackifer here, peeking out in his Foch B. A good timing on the ability as well, and they start to farm on towards these tanks on the ramp. Cashback, they're getting peeked on from the top of the hill and from middle.
Jackifer now with 2 shots in the chamber, going for Barbarian, will find the kill as well, an important one. Mentos now coming in as well with his Forge B, with all the shells available from the top of the hill. The CSs of EOS and Klorf lording away as well. They do find Jackifer, but that was a Forge B on reload. Mentos has one more available, and Itox will chase down Little in that 430U. W with the second clip, more likely than not going towards them, but they still have to close it out. It's 4v4, however they still have this isolated BZ of Iset in the middle of the map and a light tank to play against. Double DHP as well. W hold on for at least one more round.
They certainly will, and that is going to be a way more convincing round than we've seen in the earlier one with the triple cap attempt. And that's going to bring it back 4-2. So W, they're not quite out of steam yet here in this match, and I feel like maybe this is the shift now. Maybe they're going to move back and play a bit more. I don't want to say sensible, because of course they're still playing very seriously to try and win the match, but I feel like this marks maybe the shift towards slightly more conventional strategy.
And taking everything into consideration, Moff, this could have been arguably 3-3 coming out of this, but it's not. It's still going to be 4-2 for Cashback, so they still have a match point and everything going for them. But W proving or showing that they're a team capable of playing and will not just drop out.
Ooh. Of course, Cashback are already on match point, but if we do get to that tiebreaker...
122 on the Pilsen, by the way, Moff. So
yeah, no one's beating that. Not unless your opponent forfeits mid-game and all their computers crash. Even then, probably not.
Do you think Cashback got confused by the fact that there were 7 tanks up, even though the plane only spotted 5?
Yeah, I think that really made a big difference, because I think their idea is we're going to cross towards Donut and kill the 2 tanks that are possibly on 1-2 line. Maybe. Yeah,
it looked like crossing over towards 1-2 line to W is playing more conventional mob. Double mouse 1-1B for TDU, W4 and an RHM Panzerwagen.
Cashback going IS7, mouse 277, T57, double bat, and a Foch B. So never mind all of that chatter about the potential for rat strategies. This is what I said in the last Cliff game. I feel like W is going to potentially move back more towards playing conventional gameplay, because it's really hurt them early on in this matchup. Cashback splitting, sending a lot of tanks over towards the south of the map with a Foch B, Batchat, IS7, I think, I'm not sure what other tank it was, 277 as well. Batchat doing an aggressive spotting run, Brainbreaker, at the start of the game, just hanging about near that strike at the start here. We got Klurf going for radar at the start of the game. Aka letting off a couple of blind shots. Klurf does not commit to it though, because he doesn't know there is no light tank.
Does W smell this out?
Well, they look to be grouping up for a push already.
I mean, look at the C line.
I have to say,
look at the C line. They are pushing up though. It seems like they are somewhat aware.
Yeah, I have to say though, the timing right now looks really good for them. Cashback have 4 tanks committed in the south. They are so far away from supporting the rest of their team. Aka is in some serious trouble.
I think Klurf might just end up taking the info tower after all. I think Aka is in a lot of trouble indeed. That T-57 heavy is going to be spotted out, and that's going to be Frugo and Drakefa just speaking up and over against Aka, and Aka is like, guys, I'm in trouble, and that T-57 tries to run away, might even clip out on towards Itox, but that is a wall in the way, and that T-57 loves shooting heat in these scenarios. Frugo needs to be careful though, overextending by quite a lot, minus 2.5k on him, not what you want to see. They had such a freebie, no reason for Frugo really to do such a thing, Moth.
I think he got baited because there was no initial covering fire, and then Squeezy got into position eventually and started clipping out together with Aka, and now Cashback, the rest of the gang, has grouped up to support their team. Little is flanking in 277. Jackifer finally picks up that kill on towards Aka, who was not long for this world and going back to the garage. Mentos now trading off with Twilight. There is a repush from W here. Baby, Yoz, and Clerv. Little may have overextended in this position. He's going to get double medium, double DPM medium with the Inspire ability pouncing upon him.
Yeah, Little isolated in the factory. Tries to run, but he has nowhere really to hide on 9 HP, and the medium's continuing the push here on towards Brainbreaker, who is going to fall as well. Mentos picks up one. Ios picks up the other. Liberty does find Frugo, I think, with the strike as well, but W now coming in for the repush once more. They hit their stride, and they're starting to hit hard as well as they come in into this pit area, wiping Cashback once more. The dream is yet still alive as they pick up another round, this time on Studzianki number 1.
Yeah, and this one's even more dominant than the last. Clerv operating as the janitor on the cleanup crew, going to find that last kill on Squeezy, and that's going to make it 4-3 now. W just one round away. The early part of this match, because it allows you to warm up into the game, and W with this comeback that they're on right now, just playing more simple strategies. They just grouped up and just made a very simple push through the north of the map, and because it's so conventional, I think Cashback were almost surprised by how normal the push was. I mean, it's really quite strange, because what W did in the last round is just such a normal push, which we would have seen in seasons gone by get countered. But just Cashback, I think Cashback really expected W to do some kind of crazy stuff going through the south. That's why they committed 4 tanks to it. An interesting pick, especially in isolation. I feel like we don't ever see the tank in isolation anymore. It's almost always in a pack of 2 or 3. Mentos going for blind radar. Liberty uses the plane. Is he going to get it? Nope. It was a gamble attempt there from Mentos. He did get ability pop, so he's going to heal at least a little bit of that back. Now we've got Squeezy moving through the south of the map in his bat chat. If he can clear this quickly, that's going to be great for his team, but understandably, he doesn't know what's up as much as anyone else in the game, so he's not going to blind commit to that.
Rotation coming out now towards the south. Clear destroying a building. Double 268 and support. That's a lot of danger in the south, though. Especially those 268s are very potent, and even fire would be ideal for them.
I think it's all going to come down to the timing here. The 268, as much as it's got great DPM, it excels. It's at its peak of its powers when it's in an ambush, when it surprises the enemy, especially a bat chat, because you can intuition to that HE for 1150. Was it 1150 or 1100 HE alpha damage potential, which is very, very potent and a huge threat to those bat chats. Cliff now moving up, and they're just going to stop here, much like Squeezy has done on the other side. We've got an I7 committing though, potentially. That is quite the play.
That strike being taken is huge here though for Itox. Will be impactful in the start. Ios taking some damage, will join him in the hole. So W really eyeing up this south push. The plane doesn't hit anything. I think that might bait Cashback into some fake confidence perhaps. A good shot though from the 268, so they know there's at least one tank in the back.
They do, but Brainbreaker, he knows something's up here. I mean, they definitely do, because there was a tank spotted. There's a strike coming in on the 2 tanks spotted behind there, and that is quite a bit of damage. Now Little pushing forwards as well, and I think he may have taken a 268 shot. Additionally, I think pushing forwards to the IS-7s here is perhaps a mistake. Perhaps you're falling into the trap of the high alpha TDs.
Pushing now in the south with Little, Brainbreaker, Aka and I said Baby hitting a shot as well, and the Fosh B from Mentos in the side also, and the guys from Cashback here kind of driving out in the open. Little taking another one from Mentos who pops the ability. The mouses are starting to arrive, and it looks like Cashback wants to make a play here before those mouses arrive because they realize the trouble, the heaps of trouble they're in. Baby hitting Iceland, Klur trying to cover Jakefa, who will fall in that 268. He'll be the first one down. Can he do one more shot? The mini strike coming out. He does find one more connection before the strike will put him out of his misery. And now Baby backing off, hits a banger on the runaway, and Glorf coming in as well. 393 on Aka. Now Ios is there with the mouse, and Itox is there as well. The rolling fortress from W has arrived and will pick up Little, and now Brainbreaker and Aka can only face the music. They do have that 268 to play hold down behind, but with Itox coming from behind, he is taking damage. I said will be dropped towards a one-shot as well. Itox gives Brainbreaker a shot, makes him a one-shot, now pushing him out in towards Baby in that 268. The mouse from the cap shooting back towards this as well, but W needs to start cleaning up. They had this HP lead, it's coming close again though, but they find 2 more kills, and Io's still alive. I said on the runaway, getting caught by Mentals. It's 3 left standing for Cashback, who just got them Jimmy's wrestled, as not only are they not going to win in regular time, they're going to have to face a tiebreaker against W, who win 3 consecutive rounds to bring it back all the way to 4-4.
This is the match we wanted to see. We thought early on that the W was sleeping, but now we're getting these 2 Titans going head to head, and W bring it all the way back. We're going to get a tiebreaker in the very first match of the day, which is absolutely fantastic here. W just need to close out this round, but they've got more than enough tanks at their disposal to do so. They've got Klurf alive critically in the light tank. Perhaps there would have been something for Cashback to explore in this round if the light tank of Klurf was dead, but that is not the case. Barbarian just down to a one-shot now, is going to get picked up by Klurf in that RHM. Just 2 tanks left to find before we go into that tiebreaker on Westfield.
And Liberty getting tracked in the RHM. Baby with the HE shell. 1.1. The power of the 268 coming out and squeezing the last one standing. It's going to be a tiebreaker him off. It's going to be Westfield as well. And it's going to be W picking the side at which they want to start. If you're W, what side are you picking?
I have no idea, honestly. Is it? Do you pull it out right now in this tiebreaker? You've clawed it all the way back by playing slightly more conventional. That's how they've gotten most of their round wins. Do you really want to go back to the alternative playstyle?
Now, Westfield tiebreaker him off. After all this, do we change our thoughts about Cashback or W? Because I feel like W might actually be the more convincing team now.
That will be...
I don't think W... I mean, I don't think that they're going to do the rat tactic. No, I can't think of anything particular either, but let's see what both of these teams have in store for us on the final Westfield round. Double BZ, double AX, and triple Bliskovice for W, facing off against the double BZ, the triple Bliska, the Fosh B, and the RHM for Cashback.
Both teams kind of giving hit and run vibes, to be honest, with the sort of lineup they're rocking. We saw hit and run play that double AX, double Inspire. Very powerful, because even if you get one of them getting caught, the other one is still going to be pumping out that damage. Liberty on the RHM, though, could be a very critical player here for Cashback. That plane at the start could be all important to decide what Cashback want to do. He spots out 5, and they are kind of playing. They're committing towards the mid strike. The double AX is unspotted, though. Liberty needs to be careful.
The double AX moving close, Liberty replaning the BZ, but only hitting 1, and it's going to be a fight here straight. Baby and Jakefa going for the shots against Liberty, but only one of the 2 connecting. Now those secondary shots connecting. Itox is in the middle of them. The rest of the W team joining in. Jakefa in that AX getting focused out by Barbarian. The rest of the W team trying to keep him alive. That AX, he explodes against Little. Can they return the favor immediately on the Barbarian? They can. They're trying to keep the second Inspire tank alive to have that DPM boost throughout this battle, while Baby is going for Liberty in return. Brainbreaker down towards a one-shot. Ios not going for the kill there. Not sure what caused that. And now it's a 6-on-5 with Liberty being a one-shot and Baby actually making it away as well. Klurf cannot find Brainbreaker. Surprisingly still, that Bliskovica is still alive and kicking, and the focus fire from Cashback is starting to kick in. Liberty's still alive. Finally, Itox gets the kill. The Ram from IOS will put the RHM out of the fight here, but now it's 4-on-4. W down in HP though, but they find the next kill. Itox trying to survive. Aka doesn't find the kill either. Baby getting chased down by Little, and it's still a 3-on-3 with W down in HP, but can they somehow get Aka out of the fight? The shot from Mentos will hit, and now IOS coming up with Real, but Little finds Baby, and IOS misses on towards Aka, who's boosting away. And I think at the end of the day, Moff, in this scenario, it will be Cashback coming out ahead, but it's not over just yet.
It's not over just yet. Yoz pops that ability, gets the ram kill, boosting his ramming alpha damage, and he connects another shot on towards Little in his Bliskovica. Now Mentos boosting around the corner just to guarantee that he connects. The shot gets Amaraked in the process, but now with his booster active, he can't reverse back around. The HP is favoring Cashback slightly, but it's so very close. We've got Little being a one-shot, and if W can focus on that one gun, Amarak, double Amarak on Mentos, that means his reload is going to be total garbage, but Yoz comes in to pick up the kill, and now Twilight is stuck in the 1v2, and Mentos, he may be Amaraked, but critically, he is still alive, and he is not a one-shot.
Yeah, now Twilight with that BZ with no DPM facing off against IOS. I was wrong, will admit it. Antos says Amarak come back as well. Twilight boosting forward will probably take the shot from Mentos. Mentos doesn't miss these, and now it's going to be W actually, not Cashback, who looked to be in control, but some great endgame plays there from the side of W, finishing it off, picking it up, and tiebreaker as well. What a round between these two to finish it off, and W somehow will make it into the upper bracket finals against Hit and Run. I really thought Cashback had it in that 2v2.
I thought they did as well.
Little kind of drove through the open, no?
Yeah, and I thought Baby was dead as well, but somehow he managed to get away, and they actually gave up the chase. But
W,
I can't hide my jury right now. I got a prediction actually correct. I put it on the line. I went for the 5-4 as the only one to do so.
You were.
I actually got it right. I'm so far behind, it doesn't matter at all. But I'm just happy I got one right. I got 7.7k.
Yeah, even with that miss, you know, 5 kills as well. 13, 11, 11. I thought surely it was over when he missed that shot. You know, earlier the focus fire from W in the beginning wasn't that great, to be honest. Moff, they left that Brainbreaker one shot alive for so long as well. Of course, the fact that Cashback had a light worked in the favor of W, but I would say that the AXs from W in the beginning allowed themselves to get caught, no? Especially Jakefa was kind of in the open, allowed himself to get focused out so quickly.
Yeah, but it's always tricky when you play the AX too, because the fight just happens so fast. Even if you're trying to be conscious and mindful of the fact that you need to play safe, sometimes it can be very difficult to do so. But that's why you bring the double AX, right? That's the goal of the strategy, is that even if that one of them gets focused out, the other can still survive to pop that Inspire ability.